Hello there, and welcome to my very first draft league for VGC. If you guys usually watch my Pokemon Masters EA content, you might not know that I do play a lot of doubles on the Switch where I do VGC rent teams, VGC battling, and I just use rental teams you can find on Google, YouTube, and all that stuff. For I think I have not built any teams by myself for the last 3 years. This is probably my first time building a team since 2022. So I was going to start by briefly explaining how a draft league works. These rules generally apply to all sorts of draft leagues for Pokemon. So the way how this works is there's a draft board, as you can see here. There you go. So each Pokemon has its relative number of points, as you can see, and in the order of the trainers the organizer have put, each player can pick a Pokemon when it's his turn, and when it goes to the end of the line, it goes all the way back until everyone has picked all a maximum of 11 Pokemon, or when they run out of points. So each player has to get between 9 to 11 Pokemon. And yeah, that's basically how it works. And then you play 6 battles in 6 weeks, which is pretty intense. But yeah, hopefully we can win some battles. It's my first time doing a draft league as well, so I'm not extremely confident. Some teams are extremely scary to deal with, but when we get to those teams, I'm gonna go in a bit more depth on what I think, how should I deal with them, strategies, plans. For this video, we're just going to focus on my team. We're not gonna look at how other teams are built and all that stuff. We're gonna look at my team specifically and how or why did I choose these Pokemon, and is there any changes, responses, ideas that I thought. So the team is as follows. We got Iron Hands, Cresselia, Chi-Yu, Walking Wag, Bax, Caterpillar, Politoed, Orthworm, Hydrapple, Cottonee, Festivity, and Clodsire. So just to refresh type matchups, types of the Pokemon: Electric Fighting, Psychic, Fire Dark, Water Dragon, Ice Dragon, Water, and then this is Orthworm, which is Steel type. We got Grass Dragon, we got Grass Fairy, Poison Fairy, and Ground Poison. Now, my first pick is Iron Hands. The main reason is really because I do pretty well in Trick Room. I know how to play a proper Trick Room team. I have lots of experience with it. I really wanted to pick Iron Hands. And before my pick, people pick Fluttermane, Iron Bundle, Chien-Pao, and both Urshis. So Iron Hands is a really good counter, because like water types, weak to electric, fighting, dark types, weak to fighting. Fluttermane is a bit of a trouble, but I will slowly get into how I would consider countering that later. Grisena was naturally my second pick because of Trick Room. So Trick Room means that speed T is all reversed. The slowest goes first, the fastest goes last. So in this case, Cresselia has Trick Room. Lunar Blessing is a really good move, which heals all status conditions as well. Ally Switch can be really tricky to deal with. And I also have Moonblast or Psychic, depending on the team, which is really good. Next pick is Chi-Yu. So here are things that gets a bit more tricky. I was planning to get Thunderous Therian actually, and I also plan to get Arcanine. But Arcanine actually got taken, and also Thunderous Therian got taken eventually. Chi-Yu was my third pick naturally. Chi-Yu is a really good Pokemon with Beats of Ruins, lowering speed depth of all Pokemon except by itself. And I'm trying to make use of Chi-Yu to support my teammates, which we can look at it below. Walking Wake is my next pick. Mainly, first of all, water types. Second of all, ground. Ground is a massive problem because my Iron Hands is weak to ground, Chi is weak to ground. I need something to counter ground types. I got Walking Wake in here to support me. And it's also Dragon type, so pretty cool. There should be some Dragon types roaming around in other places. We'll get to that when we've analyzed other teams. Bax Caterpillar was my fifth pick. Again, ground type issues, and also it learns Scale Shot, racing speed, lower defense. Icicle Spear can always hit 5 times 120 base attack with a loaded dice. And High Horsepower Crunch is pretty good coverage. And also it has the ability Thermal Exchange, which is really good against fire types. Thermal Exchange means when contact with fire, when it hits by a fire type move, it boosts its attack by 1 stage. Really, really solid picks. But this also arises to another problem, which is weak to Fairy. Iron Hands is weak to Fairy. Weak to Fairy. Walking Wick's weak to Fairy. Baxcalibur is also weak to Fairy. So I was like, okay, I need a Poison type or a Steel type. But Poison and Steel are weak to ground as well. So I'm kind of stuck in this situation here. Besides, I was also at a point where I cannot pick Thunderous Therian. Thunderous Therian picked by this Thunderous Incarnate is really good because it has the ability Prankster. Prankster means status moves go first. It learns Rain Dance, Fake Tears, Thunder Wave, Eerie Impulse. Wild Boar Storm under range is always 100% accurate. Insane Pokemon. Unfortunately got picked by someone before me. So I had to have a Weather Setter. Because as you can see, Torkoal, we've got Torkoal here. Alolan Ninetales setting Snow. We've got Thunderous Therian, I just said. Also, Pelipper set Rain. There's a bit of a weather issues here and there. So Politoed really shuts down Sun teams, here for example, and Hail teams, for example. The downside is there are actually quite a number of water types scattered around. For example, Iron Bond was a water type, Azumarill was a water type. We've also got Keldeo here is pretty scary as a water type. Dondozo Tatsugiri is extremely scary as well. So yeah, another thing is Politoed learns Parasol. We'll get to that in a sec when we look at the showdown. Orphrem is my next pick. Orphrem is a really underrated Pokemon. One thing which I just said that Steel and Poison has a weak to ground, except for Orphrem. Orphrem has the ability called Earth Eater, which heals when soaking up a ground type damage. Besides, it's a really good counter to Flutter Mane. But the problem with Orphrem is its special defense is quite low. Orphrem also has the move Shed Tail, which is usually really busted. Shed Tail means half your HP is cut, but set substitute and switches out. Really, really, really good. I don't know if I can ever use it in practice, but it is there. The next Pokemon is a Pokemon I really wanted to use for a long while, which is Hydrapple. So Hydrapple is Grass and Dragon type. Okay, weak to Fairy again. But it is pretty good. First of all, ground types. Second of all, it learns Hydro Pump. So with rain support, it can do massive damage. And also it has the move Fickle Beam. Fickle Beam can be 160 base attack for 30% of the time, which can be really good. Also, Leaf Storm Draco Meteor is also pretty decent. Unfortunately, with some testing, I realized Hydrapple actually hit weaker than I thought. But generally, you can see some teams like if I go Earth Power for this, for example, or against Hydrapple, Ogerpon Water just gets shut down. Volcanion kind of gets shut down. Lanaris really gets shut down. Yeah, just Raging Bolt kind of gets shut down as long as I have some Fairy Terror or some Fairy types. Rillaboom can kind of get shut down as well. We'll get into that on the team building in a sec as well. Cottony is a Pokemon that I kind of want to pick as well. So Cottony also has the ability Prankster. So that means Sunny Day, Fake Tears, Encore, Charm. These moves have priority. Really, really good. And the last two picks are kind of weird, to be honest. But they are, first of all, Poison types. Second of all, weak to ground. So honestly, we have 4 Pokemon weak to ground and 4 Pokemon weak to Fairy, which is really, really scary, honestly. Pheasant Deputy is a Pokemon that's not very good, but it learns Tailwind. Toxic Train means every move has a 50% chance to poison the opposing, which can be really valuable at sometimes. We're going to try and put out some Paris Song and Toxic Stalling in between as well. Clodsire is just my last filler pick. Clodsire is not only cute, but Clodsire also how to say, Clodsire is a water immune Pokemon. That means water absorb. It cannot get hit by water types. Water types, Urshifu, Pelipper gets shut down. And then Ogerpon kind of gets shut down. Not entirely, but Ogerpon gets kind of messed up. Any water type or rain-based team gets kind of shut down by Clodsire. It also has good special defense as well, like 120 base, I believe. So this is my team. I'm not going to look into other teams for now. When we get to battle them, I'm going to go into detail on their teams, which there should be another video going up quite soon. Alright, just to briefly look at how these teams function, or how my team functions. I'm going to quickly show you all my Pokemon here. They're not in a specific team, just showing you how they go generally. And I'm not going to cover any items or Terra types. I'm going to give suggestions, but I'm not going to give very exact Terra types or very exact items because they differ based on the matchups. So Iron Hands is a really good Pokemon with the Quark Drive ability. It means you can go Boosted Energy, you can go Assault Vest. Electric Terrain, it gets boosted, but I'm pretty sure I'm never going to run Electric Terrain. Move like Fake Out, Drain Punch, Heavy Slam, Wild Charge, Super Cell Slam can be pretty interesting as well. What else? Low Kick can also be pretty interesting. Some very general just moves that can help out the team. Ice Punch as well. It has 140 base attack. With Booster Energy, it gets really, really good to like 160 base attack. Cresselia, on the other hand, is kind of weak on the offensive side. Defensive is really good. We're going to think about Trick Room. We're going to think about Ally Switch. So Ally Switch means you swap the position of your partner. Levitate means we can try and counter ground types. As I said, ground is quite a big weakness for my team. So Moonblast, for example, is really good. Psychic is a pretty decent coverage. Also, I learned Psychic Terrain, but I'm not sure how often I will ever use that. Protect, obviously. Lunar Blessing, of course. Lunar Blessing heals using allies. Heals a fourth of maximum HP and cures the status. Very, very good move. Item-wise, it could be, I would try and run the Mental Herb because looking at other teams, which I know I'm not going to go in depth, but many Pokemon actually learn Taunt. Taunt means you cannot use status moves. Mental Herb neutralifies this effect of Taunt. So hopefully that can make things a bit more interesting, I guess. Alright, Chi-Yu is next. Chi-Yu is a Pokemon that everyone knows very well if you play VGC. Your standard is Dark Pulse, Snarl, Heat Wave, Overheat, for example, and going for the Choice Scarf or the Choice Specs. Really nothing much to go for. Really high special attack and lowering special defense by a quarter is insanely good. Walking Wake with Photosynthesis again, but Walking Wake is a past Pokemon. So past Pokemon get boosted from the sun, which if we counter against sun teams, we are in a lot of... We're not in trouble, but they are more in trouble actually. So Walking Wake has the move called Hydro Steam. So Hydro Steam actually boosts its power by 1.5 under sun and 1.3 under rain. Very, very good sun counter, which we will actually see that in the video of week 1. Also there's Draco Meteor, for example. Draco Meteor. Where's Draco Meteor's here. It learns Snarl. It could be useful sometimes, not in all situations, but that's really mainly it. Holding the Mystic Water, for example, can be really good. Boosting Hydro Steam further. Baxcalibur. So, Glaive Rush, for example, but it's not. But it's actually not that good because it takes in more damage the next turn. Instead, we can go for this core called Icicle Spear Scale Shot with the ability to load the item Loaded Dice. So Loaded Dice ensures I hit 4 to 5 times every single time, which these moves can get to at least 100 base attack or 120 base attack, which is really, really good. High horsepower, very good coverage, and Crunch also is a pretty decent coverage. Politoed is one of the most well-known Drizzle users. The other one's really Pelipper and Kyogre, but we're not gonna count Kyogre here. Drizzle, rain sets up. That means we have weather pressure. Weather pressure is something that's when other people see you have a Politoed, you have a weather setter, that you have to prepare against it. You have to prepare on how to counter against weather, especially when I have Walking Wake as a water type. So, Politoed has also the really famous move called Perish Song, which means if you stay on the field for 3 turns, you die instantly. It also has Weather Ball, which changes type based on the weather. So rain is water type, sun is fire type, snow is ice type, and then sandstorm's rock type. Otherwise, normal type move. Helping Hand, very good. And it also learns like Icy Wind, which I'll probably not use as well. But generally, this is how you use Politoed. Let's look at some other Pokemon as well. Orthworm with Earth Eater, as I said, heals 1/3 of its maximum HP when hit by ground move. Shed Tail, as I just said, takes half of its max HP to pass a substitute. Very, very good. Iron Head is really good. Body Press is really good because Body Press uses the defense stat as attack in damage calculation, and we have 145 base defense. So, really, really good. And a citrus is always a good item. Hydrapple. So Hydrapple has Super Sweet Syrup, which lowers evasioness upon entry of opposing on entry, or Regenerator, which heals 1/3 of its HP when switching out. From what I just said, Leaf Storm, Draco Meteor, Pollen Puff, Recover, Yawn, Lights. Okay, does it learn Light Screen? No. Reflect. Like, these are very good utility Pokemon, or you can act as an attacking. Stat-wise, it's pretty okay. 120 base attack is okay, but I'm not sure if that is actually like strong enough in most times. Cottony. Cottony, we've got Encore, Charm, Fake Tears is really good. Fake Tears. Sunny Day, really good. And holding the Eviolite item, boosting its defense and special defense by 1.5. It's not very good stats, but it's still okay. It can actually mess people up really badly. Like, we can have a Sunsetter in this case, which can boost Chi-Yu's Heat Wave further. Really, really good. Serendipity, which I mentioned, Tailwind. It also learns Icy Wind. It learns Roost. And then obviously Toxic Chain. Oh, Toxic Chain has a 30% chance of badly poisoning. So if we have Dazzling Gleam, so Dazzling Gleam hits both opponents, 30% chance to poison each Pokemon. Can be really, really, really good and really, really clutch in certain situations. And it also learns Roost, just to say. Roost basically heals, is a healing move. Clodsire, with the ability Water Absorb, it learns Yawn. It learns Toxic Spikes. Earth Power is a decent move. Such Bomb is a decent move. It's mainly on the supporting side, I would say. So Haze can be pretty decent at some cases, for example. Recover, Spikes, Stealth Rock can be really good against teams that are really weak to rock, which we might see in later episodes. Not too sure yet. But yeah, that gives a very, very brief. I'm not going into too much detail here, but this is a very, very brief run through of my team and how I personally think they work together, and hopefully it covers in the weaknesses. As I mentioned, Ground and Fairy are very, very spooky against me with three. Was it three? 1, 2. Yeah. So we have 3 Pokemon weak to ground, and we have 4 Pokemon weak to fairy. But we also have 3 Pokemon resist fairy, and we also have 2 ground resistances and 2 ground immunities. So we do have a lot of we have quite a lot of common weaknesses, but we also have good ways to counter ground types. Fairy types, I'm not as confident in dealing with fairy types yet, but hopefully all of them can really pack a punch with Iron Head. One more thing is actually Iron Hand also known as Heavy Slam. I think I did say that just now, but Iron Hand also known as Heavy Slam, which actually can one-shot Flutter And also, we haven't covered Terror types yet. Terror types means you can play offensively, boosting your damage further, or defensively, being resistant to certain types. For example, I can Steel Terror my Iron Hands to resist the Fairy type attack from Flutter one of the examples, which we'll also go on to that when we actually build proper teams in the when we get through the episodes of battling with other people. Yeah, that is really it of my rundown on how my team works. If you're interested, obviously have fun and looking at other people's teams. I would not say who I'm fighting in this video because I haven't actually looked into it yet, and obviously I have not thought about the details for every single team. And these players are really good. I've heard they've actually won proper like world championships against like actual professionals. Some of these teams are pretty scary. Some of these are pretty manageable, I would say. There are probably some very hidden strategies among them. They probably thought about these through. But yeah, that is really it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Wish me the best of luck. And yeah, questions about the team, advices, please do let me know in the chat below. And if you know me in person and you're participating, please do not snipe me. Please do not. That is it.